Hi guys, that's my best friend Shenielle.
And that's the best friend Janelle.
Today we're talking about, are relationships equal?
Are they?
Yeah, that's our topic today.
Guys? What do you take away from it? Like, what do you think?
So, I think for me, I think a completely different thing than a lot of people when you talk about relationships being equal. First of all, I don't think relationships are equal in the sense that men and women, first of all, are completely different. They are, period. Yeah. I'm not one of those people that, equality in every area, because that's just not realistic. It isn't. I believe in equality in the important areas. However, I don't want a man's job. I just don't. And so as far as gender roles, I think I've mentioned it before in another video, but I definitely do believe that in relationships there should be gender roles. I think that Shenielle and I are kind of sort of on the same page when it comes to this, not entirely.
Mm-hmm. I got my own No,
I mean in that aspect of gender roles. Yeah. I think we're sort of the same, but not entirely, because I do think that gender roles should exist, and I do think that there are areas where we can help each other out. Mm-hmm. I'd never be with a man who's just expecting me to do everything in the house just because I'm a woman. But at the end of the day... Where? But at the end of the day, those are the things that I'm going to feel more comfortable doing because I grew up doing them. I am a woman. Yes. I was raised by a mother who did those things as well. I know how to do them. I've always done them. So it's no skin off my back. I don't mind doing them. Not a lot of boys are raised that way. Mothers don't really raise boys to do housework. It just is what it is. So I get that part. But at the same time, I also do think that there are things that, guys might do or girls might do that will fall into those quote-unquote gender roles that you don't actually have to say, well, I'm just going to sit here and not do it because that's for a man to do. If you're capable...
That's what you're not going to do.
Yeah. If you're capable, I don't expect you to be looking at me like, well, I'm still not doing it. Well, then we both not doing it, and we just go sit down and look at each other. And then there's the other aspect where this is immediately where my mind goes to when people say relationships are equal. I completely disagree in all aspects that I've heard so far. And so the second aspect is just a matter of you're dealing with two completely different people. It can never be equal. A relationship to me can never be equal. You are two completely different people with two completely different likes and dislikes, two completely different viewpoints, two completely different histories. You're coming from two completely different pasts.
Different
upbringing. Everything is different about you. You are not going to be equal in your relationships. You are going to be complementary. And that's the reason that you fit together.
I like that word. Add that to the vocabulary bank, please. Complementary.
You should be complementing each other, not equaling. It doesn't that doesn't make any sense to me. When people talk about you shouldn't do things that you don't want your partner to do to you, and it's like that doesn't exactly exist because things that bother my partner may not bother me. Mm-hmm. It's just being realistic. As an example, my partner might get upset if people walk on the carpet with their shoes instead of putting their shoes by the door when you walk in. I might not give a crap. Mm-hmm. So, I might take off my shoes to appease him, but if he walks on the carpet with his shoes on and it doesn't upset me, it's just, we are two different people. Yeah. It's not about trying to be equal. It's not about, it's about picking up the slack when it comes to the other.
Definitely.
That's what complementary is. And you just work well with each other.
And I think in that ties in the 5 love languages. To know your person. To know
what matters to your person. Know what your person values and what you value. I was in a relationship before where he didn't want me dancing with other people while we were in a relationship. I am the complete opposite. I believe in being two autonomous beings in a relationship, and you at the end of the day have to have respect for yourself and for your relationship. So I didn't have problems with him dancing with other people. I wouldn't dance with other people just because he didn't want me to. I'm fine with that. This is something that bothers you, cool. I concede to that. Now, don't get me wrong. This is something that we had a discussion about. I'm not going to just do things to, to do
Daddy.
that. Yeah, no. But it bothered you, and I was okay with letting it go. It didn't bother me. So, cool. I flat out told him, like, hey, it doesn't bother me. You can dance with other people. I am not bothered by that. Of course, he was like, well, it needs to be equal. If you're not going to do it, then I'm not going to do it. And I was just like, okay, I don't really agree. I didn't argue with it. It is what it is. If that's what you want to believe, cool. But that it just made no sense to me. And it still doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm... And it wasn't even like it was a situation where he thought maybe she's kind of full of crap. Like maybe she does really not want me to do it, but like not saying that. And so, no, like, right. Like that, I'm not that person. Dance with other people. I am not insecure. However, I'm going to give you the rope. It's what you do with it. If you hang yourself, that's on you. I believe, like I said, in autonomy. I'm not going to tell you what to do in that regard, but you need to have respect for yourself in your relationship. So if you go dancing with somebody else and you realize that somebody is getting too frisky or somebody's taking it too far, then that's for you to step back and be like, no, I'm in a relationship. Cool. That was a nice dance. Thank you. Move on.
What's wrong with you, girl?
So,
girl over there?
Yeah. So it's just, like I said, it's a matter of, it's not equal. It's complementary. You cater to your partner's feelings. You cater to, what works in your relationship. What about you?
Now, my take wasn't as elaborate. Like, when I spoke to Shenielle, I was like, oh, you right? I hear you. When we first, asked the question, like, if relationships should be equal, I mean, my train of thought was more towards, woman roles, gender roles, and the husbands do, and if we should actually be doing the same things, and how much do you put in, like, and in that sense, I said, relationship should actually be 100%, meaning that the man would put in 100% as well as a woman put in 100% in the relationship, and that not necessarily meaning myself in my relationship, I enjoy doing my woman gender roles as far as, the cooking and the cleaning and taking care of the children. But best believe that I would expect that if it's becoming too much or too tedious, or that particular day I have so much to do, I would say, hey, honey, I need your help. And I would expect for him to come and help me and not necessarily say, well, that's your role as a wife or as a woman. That would get me very angry.
Which is another reason why I say complementary and not equal. Because
exactly.
I don't think that you're ever going to get 100% from each person. Like, everyone is going to have their off days. Everyone is not going to be able to give you 100% every single day. It's on you to be complementary. If this person is lacking 20% today, you pick up that 20% and say, babe, I'm carrying you today. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Of course.
I like that. Okay, high five on that.
Of course, you don't expect that every single day of your life. If you feel like you're getting 70% to 80% of a person every single day of the relationship, something's wrong there. It's not taking away.
Not even 50%.
It's not taking away from the effort that you should be getting from somebody. You should be getting close to 100 all the time. But like I said, stuff happens. Everybody's human. It is what it is.
Agreed.
Now, Shenielle kind of takes it a little bit further, which is why I say we're not entirely on the same page, because she's all, yeah, he should help me, and like, I'm gonna go cut the grass for him sometimes, and I was like, whoa.
Exactly.
This is what Shenielle believes, and I'm fully for her. Cutting the grass, you do you, boo. Get that work done.
Like today, I'm actually gonna go help my dad and my husband go build a garden.
Yeah.
Like, those are things I enjoy, not just because it is something that the man is supposed to do, means that I need to exclude myself out of that. My mother would actually get into, I don't know, I think she kind of looked at me bad in a sense, because instead of being inside the kitchen and helping her cook and clean, I would rather be outside helping my husband and my father, build a deck or build a roof. It's just that, whenever I need it, my husband's there for me, and I could be there for him as well outside.
And so, again, that's something that she might enjoy, and that's cool for her. I am not that person. I told today she was like, "Oh, come see my garden." I was like, "No, I don't do that." She's like, what do you mean? It's a garden. And I'm like, it's outside. I'm not an outside person. So, no, I won't be outside. I'll cheer you on from the window. I'll bring you some lemonade outside. Make sure
and you know what?
You have water. But, like, no.
And that is an awesome role to play in your husband's life. If you see him out there and you are attending to his needs as far as, giving him his, moral support from inside the shed, as well as making sure that he's hydrated throughout the entire day, he's going to see that. And he's
I'm going to look out for you, but it doesn't mean that, like, I'm going to pick up your manly duties either, because, like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person to be outside. If it's something simple, like, taking the garbage out, like, okay, cool. I really do believe that, that's generally the man's role. That was how I was raised.
I do too.
The guy throws the garbage out. Fine. But if you're not feeling well, I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, I'm not taking it out because that's your role. Exactly. That's stupid. No. But, Shenielle goes hardcore with the guy stuff and want to be outside cutting the grass and, let me hold the mower and, you got an oil change. Like, let me get under there too. And I'm not that person. We are two different people. I'm very feminine. I don't like stuff like that. I'm very indoors type of person. Unless I'm in water or the beach or the river or something, like that's the only outdoors that I like. I like water. I do not like to sweat. I'm not that person. But I got your back. I will support you.
Hey, honey. Are you okay out there? Wave the flag. Wave it.
Yeah. If I'm going to be outside, then, there will be water. Like, if you hose me down, I'll stay outside with you. Because, I can't deal with heat. I'm not that person. I can't.
And that would be another thing for her husband, her future husband, to do. Like, oh, wow, babe, I see you making the sacrifice with me. Let me hold you down real quick. Shh.
Like I said, it's all about being complimentary.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that relationships are equal. I don't think so in any capacity. I'm sorry.
I agree. So that's our myth trumped. Because that's a big one, right? Know who you are. Speak to your spouse. Let them know who you are. Know who they are. And come together.
To complement each other. Ding. Vocabulary bank. All right, guys. So that's our take.
So, guys, make sure that you come back next week so that you can see our beautiful faces. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell right there, please, so that you will know exactly when we come out with a new video. We usually post either on Wednesdays or Thursdays. So, stay in tune, guys.
Drop a comment. Let us know, what do you think, are relationships equal or not? Do you agree with us or not?
Let us know.
That's my best friend, Shenielle.
And that's my best friend, Janelle.
Hello.
She finna. Oh, your best friend, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's you better.
You hella serious.
Yes, I am.